Hi everyone, I'm Sam, a marketing specialist here at Nectar. The pollination season is just about to roll around, so we came up with 4 practical ways that you can operate more efficiently this pollination season using Nectar. The first one is to monitor hive strength early and at scale. And there are 3 ways that you can do this inside the manager's portal. One of them is by using these metrics right at the top, which will give you a breakdown of strong, medium, and weak hives graded across your operation, which is really helpful just for getting a sense of, as you're going into pollination season, what do you have and where can you send those. Another thing that you can do is look on the yard by yard level. You can see green information. So for Riverside here, there's 71 strong, 4 medium, and 1 weak. Another thing that you can see by scrolling over is the average frame of bees per yard on your is really helpful because, for example, one Nectar customer told us that he uses this feature to help with meeting his full strength for an 8-frame contract. So by using this tool, he's able to see basically miss and match across the different hives in his operation to make sure that he's getting the 12 maximum frames for his grade contracts, which helps him maximize his revenue and allocate his resources more strategically. There's another thing that we are going to be putting out soon, which is called the Hive Longevity tab. So what this is going to be is your manager's portal, you're going to see across all of the currently alive hives how many hives are projected to be alive by a certain date. So you can basically select by a type of yard, so pollination yard, and see at a certain point how many of those hives are projected to be alive, so before and after winter, for example. And what this allows you to do is basically, as you're going into the pollination season, as you know what the contract required, you're going to be able to see, roughly speaking, whether or not you're going to be able to meet those contracts with what you have available. Another strategy we want to call out is something called low-touch beekeeping. So this was something that was really pioneered by a Nectar customer called Jason Miller, and it's based on the idea that the movements that a hive takes per year have a significant impact on its mortality. So Jason has developed strategies for reducing the average number of hive movements from 13 to 15 down to 7 or 8, and one of those by basically eliminating holding yards. So Jason will move his yards directly from his winter shed to the nation yards. Within the Nectar app, within the manager's portal, there are a few ways of seeing the impact that movements have on your hives. And one of them is if you scroll all the way down, inside the Insights tab, you'll get to a movement and mortality section that shows dead outs versus movement frequency. So, for example, the number of movements that you have per year, the number of dead outs that show up as a result of that. Another thing that you can do, which is a good strategy, is planning hive drops digitally to cut down on labor costs. So I know Nectar has a pollination tab that is designed specifically for this purpose. So before using Nectar, many operations, including Oliveira's Honey, mentioned that they used to send operations managers to California for 1 to 2 full weeks driving around from pollination yard to pollination yard, flags and marking points of interest. With Nectar, you can do almost all of that digitally. So you scroll to the pollination tab, and here you'll see all of your contracts broken down by requirements and blocks, on-site information. And if you click on each of them, you see a breakdown, but you'll also see of interest marked on the map, which if you click will take you directly to the pollination map that show points of interest. Also click on a by drop basis and it will take you directly to the drop with all of the relevant. Another sort of basic thing that you can do with the pollination to save money is by starting with last year's contracts. So instead of having to rebuild contracts from scratch, one thing that you can easily do is that when you click on a contract, instead of to create it again, you can just click this renew button up here. And what it'll allow you to do is select basically one to create the contract details and the map details so that you don't have to enter those points. Another useful piece of information is the ability to export the contract, which you can do in both Spanish and English to send to your workers or to send to orchards to show what your pollination plan is, which Matt Steyer says is very professional. You put all these ideas, this can have a really strong impact on your operation and help you save lots of time and money this season. Thanks a lot for your time.